Navy Federal Park doing my walk with Cooper while Clay does a long run, getting ready for his half marathon. I am hybrid reading The Inmate by Freida McFadden, and I'm 64% of the way in. And I just feel like if y'all have read it before, I don't want any spoilers in my comments, but if you read it before, I really think this necklace situation should have been the end of the book. I'm not sure what we have to talk about for the rest of the way. I think it's pretty obvious unless there's like there better be a ridiculous like blow my mind plot twist coming up. I have one thing in mind that it could be, but I hate a dumb main character. She's getting very foolish. So I'll keep y'all updated. Okay, spooky season started for me last week, pretty early, kind of. I just made it go ahead and start with fall, and I finally finished The Inmate by Freida McFadden. It's not quite 5 stars. I dislike a naive or a gullible main character, and that's what this gal felt like to me. It was kind of irritating. I want to be able to root for you and kind of learn what's going on along with you, and it just felt like she was in denial the entire time. It's okay if I figure some things out before the character. That's the fun of reading a thriller or a mystery. You feel like you're a detective on the case as well. But getting too far ahead of them and them not seeing any signs or putting any of the pieces together, it kind of makes me as a reader lose interest. And so that was my main struggle with this story. For the pace, I thought it was great. I enjoyed going back and forth through time and staying in one person's POV. The premise was straightforward. The main character has a new job at a prison, and we learn that she has a traumatic background where she was almost unalived by her teenage boyfriend. So you already know that there's kind of a chance that she could run into this person or some type of criminal activity has taken place to make her want to be in this environment or to make this environment more spooky for the big conflict of the novel. You don't really know if it's a whodunit or if it's a wrongly convicted type of scenario. It might have even been like a mistaken identity. You don't really know what's going on. And so that was the meat and potatoes of this thriller. And that's something that I like a lot. I do want a psychological puzzle. I want it to be a true mystery, not just a here's this thing happened and we don't really know what happened, or here's this thing happened, we don't really know who did it. I like from front to back, I want to be trying to put pieces together, figure out what's going on, what's the main issue, what are we doing about it, how is this going to resolve itself. That's why I like good movies and good TV. The questions need to be answered, whether that's by me putting together along with the people that's in the story or by the story unfolding right before your eyes. That's what you want out of a really good thriller or mystery. And I think this was able to do that for me personally. It's sad to say, but I think everybody except the main character had good character development. Everyone had you wanting to know more or seeing how they could be the way that they were. And the main character just felt stagnant a little bit. Like she was just going through the motions. She had already decided on what she believed her story was going to be and what she thought she should be doing. And when the main issues are coming into play, she didn't really have at enough tools to do anything with what she was given because there was just no development. She was lame as far as I can put it. I was entertained trying to figure out what was the truth while not being too confused. Like I said, I like the back and forth of time, getting to put the pieces together of what a teenage her would be thinking, what that certain group of friends would be doing at the time, how her boyfriend would have seen her at the time, how she would have seen him, and then trying to put those pieces together in real time. And so the jail, new job, family aspect was just added context that made going back and forth through time. It really gave that hurry up and wait, but not too long of a wait where you lose interest or too long of a gap where you don't really know what is the point of the story, if that makes sense. Obviously, from the title, you know there is some altercation or some interaction with an inmate, and being that she is working in the prison, you kind of get the idea that she's probably doing something that she shouldn't or letting her guard down a little too much. And with all that being said, by the end of the story, I think Frida really landed the plane. I think it all makes sense. The questions were answered. Life returned to basically what it was because our main character is lame, but it wasn't a cliffhanger, if you will. And that was really great for me. I know this is probably some people want to have a full synopsis and review. I just like talking about how a book made me feel and reasons why I think someone should give it a read. If you want more context and more spoilers to really get you into the book, you're not gonna find that with me. I just want you to know what is the meat and potatoes, what got my blood flowing, what had me wanting to put it down or not. And so I think Frida did it very well. This is my third book by her. I read The Housemaid, I listened to The Tenant, and so The Inmate was better than The Tenant as far as an engaging story. It wasn't as good as The Housemaid as far as being a real puzzling twister, but still, it's worth the read. I think it was a good, smooth transition into spooky season, and I'm excited to read more about her. And I'm wondering how you guys are feeling. Where does this track on your list of books that you've read by Frida, or on your list of thrillers that you would recommend for people who are more into thrilling, entertaining novels rather than mystery and detective and crime solving? That's not really my forte. I dip and dabble, but I want to be heart racing. What are we doing? And then what are we going to do about what's happening? And so, yeah, let me know how you guys feel about Frida. What are you reading next? And have you read The Inmate?